Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion.
The new channel. The new channel.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello there and welcome to the new channel. We are here to help you see the new you. Live streaming from Makati City. My name is Lloyd Luna and this is The Big Picture. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, wherever you're watching from around the world, magandang gabi po. Welcome everyone, Thursday evening, wonderful Thursday evening, the 15th day of October 2020. Hello, Christine, Rocco, Eugenian, Nibla, nanonood na po ngayon. Si Wilmar Dulao is also watching along with Luluran, TPC Test of Piana. Nanonood siya from QC. Maraming salamat po sa pagtutok na kaagad. If you're watching us live, please do share our live stream link so your friends, families, and associates can watch the same inspirational episode that we bring you nightly. You can also organize your own watch parties at paki-forward na rin po sa inyong mga social groups saka mga chat groups kung nasan man sila. I hope you're well. I hope you are safe. I hope you're healthy kasi ngayon sa panahon ito talagang bawal pa rin pong magkasakit. Hello, RC. Ma'am, magandang gabi sa iyo. Kumusta ng ating mga training seminars dyan sa Pampanga area? Baka napag-adapt na kayo sa inyong new normal, so baka naman pwede na akong magsalita dyan. Great going. You can also write your comments and questions on the comment stream down below. Hello, John. Francis Abelgas, maraming salamat sa pagtutok. Since April, nakatutok na ito sa atin dito sa mga show sa TNC. Salamat sa suporta. So let us know if you have some questions mamaya dun sa ating episode, because ngayong episode na ito, we invited a very special someone. Very special someone. And we are going to talk about corporate branding, which I feel has never been irrelevant, even if we are now in a global pandemic. In fact, my thought is, or my immediate thought was, oo nga naman, ano? I mean, maybe ito yung panahon kung kailan pwede ka talagang mag-isip tungkol sa corporate branding mo, positioning, repositioning, because we have all the time in the world to just look back on how our brands are performing or were performing prior to pandemic, di ba? Maraming salamat, Henry Hernandez. Gwapong gabi po si Boss Press. O, kala ko gwapo ako. Gwapong gabi pala. Sorry. We're going to talk about corporate branding tonight to help you, our viewers, to appreciate what really it is about. Kasi napakaraming psychology na kailangan natin maintindihan as far as professional or corporate branding is concerned. Ha? So again, tutok lamang po kayo. This will be a 45-minute interview and I hope you enjoy it. Kung kayo po ay nanonood at hindi pa kayo nakapag-share, nakapag-like ng ating stream ngayon, please do that now. Bago tayo mag-start, Limitless Power Coach supports Carla Cabrera and Lloyd Luna. Oh, wow! Kaya pala nandito. Buti dinala ko si Carla, kung hindi manonood si RC. But good, sige. So, i-share natin ang episode ngayon because this will be another night of practical knowledge and wisdom from our guests. So, hopefully, you can watch it. And you can also watch, speaking of watching, you can also watch us on youtube.com/TNCnow. If you watch us on youtube.com/TNCnow and drop some comments there, you can have the opportunity to get a gift courtesy of Unisol and TNC. Pwede po kayo makapag-uwi or pwede kayong mapadalhan ng regalo mula sa TNC kung kayo po ay manonood sa YouTube channel namin at magko-comment po kayo doon. If you become our lucky viewer for tonight, then this gift will be given to you free of charge. Ano po ito? Watch. Washable face mask courtesy of Unisol and TNC. Ang halaga po niya, 600 pesos. Ang box po yan. Kung kayo po ay nakatira within Metro Manila, delivery is on us. So wala po kayong babayaran, marireceive niyo po yan. Again, watch us on youtube.com/TNCnow and drop some comments in there. So before we call in our guests for tonight, very important person to talk about corporate branding, let's take a look at the headlines from the country's oldest running English newspaper, The Manila Times. Senators seek gas probe. Palace seeks return of motorcycle taxis. SWS 71% got cash aid amid pandemic. Apple bears 4 new iPhones. Soto to meet with Velasco. Second COVID trial paused. Duterte names 16 prosecutors. Senate passes anti-red tape bill. In the regions, 13-month pay cannot be deferred. And on business, bigger BOP surplus forex reserves this year. Headlines presented to you by the Manila Times. For more news and information, please go to manilatimes.net or download their application at digitaledition.manilatimes.net. Ayan, sakto. So, saktong-sakto yung pasok yung tigil ng music. So, let's introduce our guest for tonight, the Chief Brand Strategist of Creation 7 Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Carla Estrada tuloy. Cabrera. Hi, Carla. Good evening. Thank you so much for coming.
Good evening, Lloyd, and thank you for having me at the new channel, the See the New You.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. Appreciate it. This is something that we never planned 3 months or 5 months ago, but you're here and we are really privileged to have you here to pick your mind about your expertise, which is corporate branding. But before you can even talk about that, I would like to ask you how you have been doing, because matagal na tayo naka-lockdown. Backstage, you were telling me na somehow naging blessing itong crisis na ito. But how did you cope with the first few weeks of the enhanced community quarantine?
Oh my gosh, I was in shock. I'm a creative professional as well, no? So to be held up at home is not really my thing. So sabi ko nga, we had the World Leadership Conference. It will reveal another layer of your identity. At first, I can't get to have a routine. Parang nawala ako sa, di ba, sa usual routines ko.
Yung rhythm, no?
Yeah,
Yung rhythm.
wala yung body rhythm mo, pati yung pag-iisip. Parang kang biglang nahinto. Pero
Yeah.
alam mo, I think it's needed to equalize everyone. Nagkaroon ng great reset, kumbaga. Nagkaroon ka ng step back. No? And then, actually, first 2 months lang yon. So, I started baking. I cook, but I don't bake. So, ang dami. And yung mga backlogs ko, nagawa ko, napag-isipan ko. We did some remodeling for the business. We're now a full consultancy firm. So, madami kang reflection. Kasi you're forced to reflect about life, about everything. And at first, I was scared kasi I'm a bit asthmatic. So, medyo immunocompromised ako. Alam mo yun talagang parang may doomsday na virus outside, di ba? I always watch Walking Dead and everything. But I think it's normal. It's normal. But mas madami yung layer ng identity na nag-reveal, no? Ang daming nag-open ng doors, in fact, and I'm enjoying every bit of it right now.
I like that. I think first time kong narinig yung term in the 130 plus interviews I did since April. Itong The Big Picture, nag-start ng April 25. And yung sinasabi yung na-reveal yung layer ng pagkatao mo, parang first time na lumabas yung terminology na yan. And it's interesting to know that, because hindi siya ginawa para sa isang tao, ginawa siya for the entire humanity to really pause and rethink yung kanilang kung nasa na sila ngayon. But so yun, baking practically yung ginagawa, hindi mo ginagawa dati, or madalas gawin dati, ginagawa mo ngayon?
Never. And I've been doing creative work, but I don't design. I do write, pero biglang nag-design ako. So, meron palang mga baon, di ba, na hindi nagagamit. Kumbaga sa HR terms, upskilling to, no? And I'm surprised with myself na kaya ko pala yun. Then I did urban farming. So sabi ko, these are the things that we take for granted, that bigla na lang nagawa natin. So I think there's a great purpose behind the pandemic. And at the same time, sometimes I'm sad kasi madaming nawala ng trabaho, may mga nade-depress. I mean, part of my family, medyo may na-affect, no? But I guess it's really, you have to rise above it. It's a decision every day na, no, this will get better. Yeah. But when you push, para kang nag-cross sa greener pastures, the ones who survive, diba?
Yeah.
And I think now people are trying to be normal. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I mean, many of us have adjusted. We're going to talk about the adjustment in a while. But first, walk us through kung paano ka naging brand strategist. Ano yung career? Because hindi ito talagang course na pinag-aaralan sa school. This is, well, partly part ng isang course. Pero paano ka napunta dito sa creative industry?
Well, it came in stages. I'm from a family of artists. I'm a Cabrera. So, I think 5 years old pa lang ako. Creative environment na ako. I mean, my dad is a master painter in the 70s, 80s. Kita ko ngayon Manila Times, doon nag-umpisa ang daddy ko eh. Actually, I have here editorial sketches of Bindoy.
Oh, wow!
Yeah, in the 70s. And then Uncle Ben Cab, a renowned national artist, is my uncle. And I have 3 brothers who are artists. And I have 6 brothers. I'm the only girl. So dyan identity is such a big deal in the family kasi everyone has we're trained to be an individual. You know, you have to be who you are. You have to be different. You have to be unique. Diba? So, identity pa lang, bata pa ako, nandun na yung practice na yon because alam mo naman ang creative artistic people, mga opinionated, may sarili mo mundo yan.
I know.
There's like 6 boys, me, my father, and my uncle. They all have very vibrant personas.
Yeah.
And,
interesting people to handle.
yes, crazy, but for me, it's home. It's good, and you know, they're all mostly creative geniuses, and I'm very proud to have that creative legacy. So, dati pa lang, identity is a huge thing in my life until my brother kasi, my 5th brother, is very close to me. He's a creative director in advertising. Siya talaga yung nag-influence sa akin na kasi com arts ako eh. Sige, mag-advertising ka na lang. So I do small jobs for him and my sister-in-law who's marketing then. So from there, intindihan ko yung branding because we're in advertising. I bought books. Talagang I fell in love with branding. And then, but the break I had during the 90s, di ba nabubuking ang mga age natin? So, during the 90s,
itatry ko makarelate ha, Carla. Itatry ko makarelate.
Millennial ka ba? Anyway, lahat tayo Gen Z ata ako. No, just kidding. So, inaral ko talaga yung branding. I'm so passionate about it. The rationale of things and the stories behind the visual elements. Inaral ko yon. Pero ang naging break ko nung 90s, corporate events. As in, huge multinational company bigay sa akin ng break na it's in my heart. I served them for 17 years. They're in IT, no? So that's Hewlett-Packard, HP, the printer. So, creative stuff kasi they do printing and, you know, they have to have these images and they have artistic flair to it. So yun ang nabigyan sa akin ng break. So, syempre, I was young. Sige, take mo yung corporate events. So, I've been doing events for like almost 20 years. Pero I started doing branding after 10 years of doing events.
But what were the challenges when you're starting young?
Oh, dami. Well, I'm really an artist by heart.
Carla, kasi yung break, di ba? Yung break, it's something na talagang most of the time hindi mo expect, least expect dumarating siya and you wouldn't even know kung ready ka or hindi. So kaya ako natanong na at that age, kung ano man yung age na yun, because we don't have to compute naman.
Okay. Kasi nung bata pa ako, exposed na ako eh. So I started doing business. I'm just an artist really who learned how to do business. So sa school pa lang nabobore na ako kasi yung exposure ko sa daddy ko, di ba? Parang it's too big than school. So, 19 pa lang ako, I registered my company. A single proprietorship. Everyone starts from that. So, from there, siguro, lang talaga, hungry kasi. Hungry for challenges and break. In fact, my first corporate event, walk-in lang ako doon. Walk-in talaga. Lakasan lang ng loob. Because I'm already very creative. Bata pa lang ako in school. I direct shows, I do creative campaigns in school, and produce concerts on the side. So, sabi ko, sige, I'll do it. At 19, I had my business. Pero never ako naging employee. So, minsan, ang naging challenge ko, nung nagtayo na ako ng business, syempre, may empleyado ka, may team ka. Medyo nangapa ako nung una. Hirap na hirap ako. Medyo may burnout stage kasi I was never an employee. So, yun yung naging challenge ko. Pero talagang lakasan lang ng loob. During the 90s kasi boom ng events, no? So, talagang because of the passion, it's the passion and so much creative juice in you, and you just really have to express it. And I learned the craft of advertising. And then halfway, sabi ko, I have to put branding na. So we started doing creative campaigns, not just events. We started integrating things until, alam mo kailan lang, 10 years ago, I said, after 5 years na naman, branding talagang nasa puso ko. Parang ganun. So ngayon, full-time na talaga. 10 years ago, then 5 years ago, we changed our business model to be more of a consultancy group team. Yeah.
Yung bang name na Cabrera is, paano yan? Parang may additional pressure ba? If you're doing business na the business must be successful, hindi siya pwede mag-fail?
No, Cabreras are not business people. That's why I'm not pressured. We are a family of artists. Hindi kami negosyante. But like Uncle Ben, he also learned the trade of fine arts, and it's not bad to know the business side because madami tayong struggling artists kasi they don't know how to do business. So I really try to learn. Walang pressure. Lahat kasi kami parang we have our own world. So far, I'm so thankful. Hindi naman ako pinipressure na you have to be this. You can be whatever you want on your own space.
Natanong ko lang kasi for the most part, if you're part of a company, syempre talagang yung pangalan, parang lahat na lang ng gagawin mo, kailangan is maging okay because of the name. But in this case pala, you are free. At least yun yung sa family.
Yes. Well, they taught us, pag may ginawa ka, harapin mo yung consequence. Yun yung training eh. I think somehow my brothers are kind of pressured because they really became an artist. You know what I mean? Same line. Because you have my dad, you have Uncle Ben, and Salvador Jr., my other brother, is doing well now. Siguro somehow may pressure sa kanila, tapos lalaki sila. Ako kasi, ibang discipline, advertising. So, branding. Creative din, pero hindi visual arts. So, medyo less siguro nakakreate ako ng sarili kong space. Yung mga brothers ko, nandun talaga sila sa fine arts. So, medyo nakakompare yung style nila, kung ano yung painting nila, like, compare sa daddy or kay Uncle Ben. But that's normal. It's not putting them down. It's actually challenging them to do better.
In terms of client acquisition, let's talk about client acquisition. Gaano siya kadali? Anyway, Cabrera ako, so come on. Why not?
With corporate clients, they're governed by structures, and they have business strategies. Sometimes it's just not the name. You have to have a proof of concept, you have to deliver at the end of the day because it's going to be about the business. It's not because you're artistic or you're creative. It's not creative, it doesn't sell. So yun yung nilearn kong craft, yung business side. I actually took up MBA just to learn business more, how business works, and integrate it with the creativity. Kasi at the end of the day, these are brands and they have to be sound, they have to be profitable. So you cannot discount that fact. Iba na ngayon. It has to translate, lalo ngayon, digital age. Every engagement or every cost of customer acquisition should translate, to sales or to engagement. Everything has an apple-to-apple thing. So, yung acquisition sa digital, ibang discipline yon. Acquiring accounts is it's a sing and dance performance. Kasi ang corporate, iba-ibang ano yan, goals and objective. Well, first you have to be credible and you have to have a stellar portfolio. But at the end of the day, you customize the strategies. So it has to be effective and it has to have a positive impact on the business. It's not enough to be creative. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
how
then-
it is.
And it's not enough that you have the name. Ay, kailangan mo yung portfolio to make sure na ikaw yung credible na tao
Yeah.
para
It
dun sa
helps.
company.
It helps a little, the name, but you still have to keep, you're as good as your last project. You know, you build your name for 20 years, but you can ruin it in 5 minutes. Because that's how fragile creative work is. Because that's why we bid. Sabi ko nga, what do you sell? I sell ideas. Our ideas are our currencies. You know, sometimes people thought, mag-isip ka lang, i-propose mo. It's hard, ha? Sometimes you have to bleed to find the sweet spot for that communication strategy, for that creative strategy. It's a lot of process and
Oo,
a lot of
no?
thinking.
Alam mo, Carla, yun yung minsan din na-appreciate ng karaming organizations talaga. Yung akala nila yung mag-iisip ka lang naman eh.
No?
Di ba? Exactly. Yung idea na parang, ano ba yan, bigay mo na ng libre yan or bigay mo ng mababayad because anyway, idea lang naman.
Actually, I'm being proactive about it. That's why, actually, we just partnered with a global company from Los Angeles. They're an amazing branding group. We need branding education. We're bringing branding education to the Philippines. Yay!
Hey.
So guess what? No, we're gonna have training and workshops to marketeers, to HR, to top level. Why?
You know what, Carla? We should have the branding show dito siguro sa TNC. Mukhang kailangan natin ng show na ganyan. But if you're talking about education, probably this is one platform we can utilize, di ba? Kasi I'm really into branding din talaga. I mean, hindi naman yun scientific, hindi naman ako yung level mo. Pero doon sa branding, masaya ako na nakikita yung mga, especially yung mga up and coming na mga companies para matulungan mo sila ng kahit paano na maging okay yung branding nila. I think parang, di ba, masaya yun kung marami tayong gagawa. Okay.
Let me
So you were
explain.
saying, I can see somewhere.
Yeah, actually, branding. Okay, this is what I champion. Okay, everyone thought, especially in our country, not everyone, but most, would think that branding is just your logo, your colors, the design of your graphics. It goes beyond that. That's the brand. Okay, sabi ko nga branding, branded. Okay, branding is more than the aesthetics. Okay, it's a managed identity system that is seen and also felt. It's an organizational function, not a marketing function at all. A lot of people thought, marketing gagawa niya. No, it's an org function. We align it to HR, to the operations, even to your security guards, receptionists. Everyone has to live and breathe their identity through their stories, through their customer experience. So it's a holistic take. It's deeper than that. Kasi dapat yung identity, yung promise, doon nag-evolve yung business. Lahat yon, walk the talk nila yon. That's why from recruitment pa lang ng empleyado, dapat ima-match mo na yung personality. Bagay ba to sa brand culture natin, di ba? Hindi lang functional. So that is branding. It goes beyond the visual elements. That's why, but not a lot of people know this. So thank you for bringing me in this show because we're really going to be passionate and dedicated in branding education. Starting this month, we've been offering it to a lot of corporate clients because we will do training. In fact, we're empowering their identity. The marketing team should stand alone and champion their own brand. We will be there for such a time, but they should love. Diba? Love ko to. Dapat sabi nga namin, be a brand loved by millions. Internally, by your employees from top to bottom, and externally by your customers.
Oo, dyan tayo nagkakaroon ng konting challenge kapag hindi na isa sa buhay mismo ng mga empleyado yung nire-represent ng mismong company. I think yun yung pinaka-challenge. Akala natin logo lang talaga, mag-design lang, magandang logo, and then that's it. Goes beyond that. Oo.
Yes, yes, yes. In fact, a client asked me, do I need branding? Sabi ko, sir, hindi na pinag-iisipan yan. Necessity na siya. Because even personally, you, Lloyd, you should have your own personal brand. Because look at what you're doing. You want to communicate your value, right? You want to make people connect with you, resonate with you. That's branding. It's your story. It's what you stand for. And sabi ko, sir, it's a necessity na hindi na siya afterthought. Part siya ng business strategy and it's part of the investment kasi may returns. It will support profitability. It will give clarity and confidence like what our global partner said. At the end of the day, it gives you growth sa business. Yun.
Kaya nga, so ang siguro pinaka-closest na ang closest na pwede kong masabi for example yung Apple experience, no. So how come na isang tech company ay naging most valuable company in the world, overtaking yung gas and oil, because makita mo pa lang simula doon sa ang tawag sa internal nila palabas, talagang makikita mo yung consistency ng kanilang ginagawa. Talagang they live up to the brand promise. Oo. Sige.
And yeah, it's you always have to ask what sets you apart. 1 to 2 points lang yan, di ba?
Exactly. But makes a lot of difference. Sige, I'm going to pause for a short commercial, Carla, and then when we go back, and then we're going to talk about still branding strategy for companies. And of course, syempre, tuloy natin i-educate itong mga ito because I think ngayong panahon ito, this is really the best time for us to rethink about our branding. Ngayon talagang panahon ito. So, the big picture on TNC will return. Please stay on our stream. We'll be back.
Since I got my new place, I've enjoyed every single day here. Hotel-like amenities, attentive staff, resort-style living, all in a premium location. So life here is easy and convenient. That's why I invested in another unit. I can earn more, and they can enjoy the very same things I enjoy at home. What a life! So much more rewarding. So much more to life. SMDC.
We need beauty every day. We need power every day. But are you ready?
Ready? Ready.
Beauty is power.
Hello there, welcome back. You're still watching The Big Picture on the new channel. Before I call in back my guest again for tonight to talk about corporate branding, napaka-interesting at napaka-importante na topic para sa atin ngayon, especially na nasa bahay tayo. Marami tayong pag-iisipan. Sa totoo lang, ito yung panahon na lahat nakapos. So ngayon natin dapat ginagawa itong reflection na ito na very valuable in fact kapag nag-start na tayo talagang bumalik doon sa bumalik. Pero pag nasa new normal na tayo, as in yung talagang new normal na nakakagalaw na tayo, I think this is very important. So, I would like to invite you to watch our other shows on TNC. The Big Picture shares inspiring stories of notable personalities Mondays through Fridays at 7 p.m. HR Hotline introduces us to the wonderful world of human resources management Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12. Have an insightful Saturday afternoon because the family business is everyone's business at 4 p.m. The Fourth Project is about life, business, and success stories live from Dubai, UAE, 6 p.m. or 10 p.m. Philippine time, Saturdays. Usapang Beauty is about beauty beyond what your eyes can see. Thursdays and Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. The world has faced an unprecedented pandemic. Time to hear positive testimonies straight from those who recovered from the disease. COVID stories, Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. Discover your life purpose and learn from others' turnaround stories by tuning into U-Turn Mondays and Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. The Home Buyer is where you hear remarkable stories about building and owning properties Mondays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. Laugh and learn about puppetry arts from all over the world. The Puppet Stories Mondays at 5:30 p.m. Magbenta, bumili at tumulong dahil bukas na ang TNC Marketplace, an online Night Bazaar, Thursdays and Fridays at 10 p.m. YOLO is for all of us to understand that law is fun and equally cool, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Watch and learn about money and more streams live from the Philippines and the US, Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. Philippine time and 5:30 a.m. California, USA. Two leaders in one platform, TNC The Talk, Mondays at 12 noon. After Shift is a chillaxing show about your choices and whatever it is that you do after work, Wednesdays and Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Discover and learn strategies on self-leadership to win in life through Win Within, Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Dream, achieve, nurture, and inspire. Tag your kids along and watch Danny Arts Show, Fridays at 5:30 p.m. Global issues, common interests, learn together across borders. Foreign affairs streams on Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. Because health is wealth, Healthline on Wednesdays and Fridays at 4 p.m. Start your Saturday celebrating women at work, 9 a.m. Awesome Day, Mondays at 2:30 p.m. Make sure to make your day an awesome day every day. In a world where everything is turning out digital, CyberNext aims to empower people and organizations to be secure in a digital world. Streams Wednesdays at 12 noon. TechU helps you understand the emerging technology shaping our future today, Fridays at 2:30 p.m. Catch also our TNC original shows such as One Day, an inspiring 30-minute storytelling. It alternates with TNC Town Hall, co-hosted by TNC founders yours truly and Apple. This show is where we talk to you, our valued audience, about our shows on TNC, also exposing our host, yung mga kanilang mga experiences backstage dito po namin sinishare. More upcoming TNC shows that will truly, truly inspire you. Please follow our channel on Facebook and YouTube and let us help you. #See the new you. All right. Parang gusto ko lang mag-break. Pagkakatapos talaga nun, parang gusto ko mag-commercial ulit. Let's bring in our guest again back tonight. Carla Cabrera is Chief Branding Strategist at Creative 7 Asia. Welcome back. Kapagod?
Pagod ka, kaka-plug.
So, nakakapagod. Lahat ng shows kasi, importanteng mabanggit yan. So, okay naman kasi nakakaganti naman ako sa ibang host kasi binabasa rin ito.
Amazing shows, by the way.
Yeah. See, wala pa yung branding education, which I think would be really. I'm not pitching on the spot, but that's exactly what I'm doing. Pitching on the spot. Okay, let's continue talking about branding bilang isang overall experience, both internally sa externally, meaning organization saka yung client na kinikater nila. And you talk about branding education. Where do we really start kung ang isang company ay either built na or nag-start pa lang? Saan tayo pumapasok bilang mga brand strategists? Do we talk directly to you?
Yeah, I told you we just partnered with a global branding firm. It's called the Blake Project, headed by Derek Day. He's our
Oh my God, I think I'm a subscriber. The Blake Project, that's the green one, right?
The Branding Insider. We have a
Yeah.
So I was just appointed as managing partner for Manila, and he would always train us, no? we will meet where the client is at. Doesn't matter if you're in the middle, in you're starting, or it's never too late. You know, I had a client. Of course, I can't mention kasi because of NDAs, but they've been doing their business for 13 years without any branding at all, zero, without minimum marketing. 13 years. And you know what's good with branding? You can always start and madali lang gawin mo technically.
May kilala
Anytime.
ko, may kilala ko 25 years. Hindi ko rin sasabihin.
Pwede, pwede pa rin, kahit 50 years pa yan. Kasi ang branding, once you decide, basta everyone has an identity, right? Yun nga lang, hindi mo, yung years na yon, yung client kong for 13 years na yon, I have to, para kang sa baul, naghahalukan ka ng archive nila para to communicate their value. So I have to check their portfolio from day one. And then the moment they did it, just for a few months, after a few months, they join a trade show. And then the CEO goes to me, Carla, I now understand. Kasi yung concept pa lang, strategic planning, hindi pa nila magets. Kahit tinitrain, di ba? Pero training medyo, pero nakita nila yung proof of concept na ginawa na nila sa isang trade show. Now we understand the value of branding. Kasi they got their customer, nung nagkaroon ng new customers, na widen yung opportunities. May direct, talaga impact sa business results and sa growth. Iba na yung positioning nila. So yung sales people nila, hindi na hard sell. Instead of a product company, they're now a solutions company, di ba? Kasi positioning yun, no? So, ang daming changes. They're so amazed. Why didn't we do this 13 years ago?
Minsan hindi nila alam kung anong klaseng company sila, no? I mean, akala nila minsan produkto sila, pero hindi nila alam, hindi sila produkto, maybe service sila. Sinasabi mo ngayon na parang solutions company pala. So, napaka-amazing na combination pala. Oo.
Mm-hmm. I have to talk to the CEO, everyone. I love it, actually.
Maganda naman. That also explains probably kung bakit mas mahal daw ang Shell kaysa sa Petron. Branding daw. Napupunta sa branding.
I'll ask you something. Why do you buy Rolex instead of Patek Philippe, right?
Yung ang tawag dito, yung aspire to be.
Yeah, actually Patek is more expensive, tsaka iba yung craftsmanship, di ba? Rolex is also good in craftsmanship. Pero sa Rolex, you buy status symbol.
Exactly.
So, may value yun, di ba?
Alam mo, Carla, yan yung
branding properly.
Yan yung hindi ko alam kung saan nagkamali yung BlackBerry. Kasi back then, BlackBerry was a status symbol. Kapag kamera ng BlackBerry, di ba? Businessman, kapag Nokia ka, ordinary ka lang. But for some reason, no? Nawala sila dun.
It's a combination of advantages. So in branding, you should have emotional advantage. That's your connection. That's taught by the Blake Project to us. You should have your distinctive advantage, what sets you apart. And you have to have all those things, but it won't work without functionality as well at the end of the day, di ba? Kasi hindi naman pwedeng connective advantage mo how do you connect to your customers and to your employees. I mean, even though you do all the shebang of branding, but you're not competitive product or service, not because BlackBerry was not competitive. Maybe there's something wrong in their R&D. Hindi na sila naka-evolve but I love the interface, the way you use it, di ba? Bigla na lang gone. Sometimes you never know. It's corporate, it's a corporate problem. So we really don't know, but it's for me one of the most successful brand in our time. Yeah.
Oo nga, tapos hindi na nakabawi, no? Hindi na sila naka-rebound.
Kaya you have to, di ba, identity and branding. Kahit pagkatao mo, you have to reinvent. You have to evolve every 5 years. Kasi nga, same for the company. So, baka yun yung naging challenge. I will research on that.
Yeah, please do. Kasi isa sa mga ideas ko, syempre, number one is yung operating system, ano. They were offered na gamitin yung operating system na Android, for example. And they rejected it because meron silang Symbian something na sarili. Oo. So hindi siya naging open sa mga developers. In other words, naging limited din yung function nila. So for some reason hindi yun yung naging advantage ng kabila na parang dito sa amin pwede kayo mag-develop ng mga apps and things like that. Hindi lang kayo limited sa enterprise email blah 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 security. So yeah, good. So maganda na di-discuss ito because these are the things that can help our small and medium businesses right now, especially now na very challenging yung time. Now, question ko kaagad bago tayo mag second break is ngayon ba is abot kamay na ba ito ng mga maliliit na negosyante? Kaya na ba nila kumuha ng mga consultants or mga brand strategists na hindi naman talaga sila madi-disrupt in terms of kasi minsan ang sinasabi na kapag kumuha ka niyan, wala, mahal yan. Yung normaling thinking ng Pilipino na kung makukuha nila ng libre, kukunin talaga nila. So, let's talk about that.
Well, branding is for everyone. Kahit nga empleyado, dapat may personal branding para makaposisyon ka sa trabaho, makuha mo yung goals mo, yung desired salary mo, you know how to play your skills and highlight what you're good at. So, if your question is, ready bang SME? Everyone's ready. It's just they're not aware. Yung iba pag naging aware na, kailangan pala. May need may demand, but they don't know. They don't know branding can answer a lot of problems and can be a solution to your business strategy. Now, when it comes to our fees, of course, medyo 2 dekada kami nag-invest sa career namin. And syempre, we have certain fees that we follow, but we have categories. We have for global brands, for local brands, and for startups, and for SMEs. In fact, medyo gusto kong gawing advocacy na mag-brand ng mga micro and small. Kasi hindi naman, may paraan kasi na, of course, hindi deep dive na. Kasi ang nagpapamahal, like yung proprietary tools namin ngayon from the Blake Project, medyo mahal yung research because of the tedious method of, analytics and data. But basically, ang pwede sa kanila, at least start the basic, the fundamentals. In fact, nag-volunteer ako sa mentor sa Startup PH. So, meron talagang lumalapit sa akin, canned tuyo, bottled tuyo, and everything. And somehow, yung medyo personal lang nga yung coaching mo sa kanila. Tapos, don't make them, start simple, start basic, and from there, as they grow, you grow with them. Siguro, sabi ko nga, tsaka na lang kayo maniningil pag nag-empire na kayo. Just kidding. Pero we would love, I had startups from zero. We even have to do name search. Mas maganda nga, nandun kami sa infancy period At nag-grow sila, we also are growing with them. So okay lang yun. We're very open about it because it's our passion. It's not all about the money all the time.
So, sa totoo lang, medyo mahirap nga minsan yung build na tapos reverse engineer. Para ang sarap mag-start nung fresh kasi alam na nila agad yung direction.
Correct. Meron nga akong client, may name na sila. But the name is medyo off-strat. Medyo nahirapan kami. How I wish we were there during the name search. And they realized nag-branding lang.
Carla, may mga ganyan kasi in my personal experience naman, talagang minsan yung negosyante, yung initials ng pangalan ng mga anak yung ilalagay, yung hindi na talaga inaaral yun. Yung iba hindi mabasa, hindi, alam mo yung tongue twister.
Or masyadong personal, hindi related sa produkto and service. We have the best names like that in the Philippines, by the way. Funny.
Ipinangalan sa anak na hindi talaga related at hindi talaga makakakonect yung pangalan ng anak sa
strategic dapat pangalan pa lang.
Oo, exactly. Yung iba nga ay ang hirap isulat, ang hirap i-pronounce. Sabi, paano ma-recall yan? Paano bibili ka sa tindahan? Pabili nga po nung
top of mind. Alam mo, meron yung ads na okay, yung pangalan kakaiba. Tapos hindi ko talaga ma-figure out. Walang descriptor. Ano ba sila? Talagang mababangga na ako kakadrive sa EDSA. Kaya Nababurden tuloy ako. I wish gawin ko sila lahat ng branding kahit libre.
Di ba?
Ba, hindi ko talaga mahulaan ano ginagawa nila.
Minsan
Kasama
talagang
ko.
minsan talagang gusto mo na lang sa ano bang contact number to ko kontakin natin at tulungan na natin. Sayang eh.
May
May question.
brand na ano, fast food chain. Hindi ko sasabihin. Pero close talaga sila. Sana. Dream ko yun.
May
Yes.
question si John Abelgas. How do you rebrand during this pandemic time?
Okay. During this time, I had a lot of talks, even in world leadership conferences. We don't do ads anymore. We create stories. Okay. Stories of two things. There's a we use this trust factor method. Kasi ngayon, unstable, no, na kumbaga, yung trust medyo na-shaken sa sarili natin, sa lahat, no? Even in everything that we use or how we live. So, importante yung trust factor. And how do you keep that? There's two things now. You have to be relevant in spite of what's happening. Okay? You don't say, oh, kasi pandemic, yaan mo na, lumubog muna tayo ng konti. No, the more you have to rise up, you have to be relevant. And how do you do that? You start first with empathy to your customers and to your employees and all your stakeholders. Empathy muna. What are they going through? So you should have, like, for example, an employee engagement program inside your company so you can address what they're going through. And that's part of branding. Actually, it's not rebranding. It's keeping your brand alive and being connected to all your stakeholders inside and out. Introspective kasi ginagawa namin. So yun muna, keep that going first. Rebranding is, when you say kasi rebranding, reinvention yan eh. Case to case yan kung magre-reinvention ka. It's more of keeping the brand steady. And if you can be stronger during this period, then the better. And be relevant until maging normal. Huwag kang bibitaw, di ba? So create your stories on your social media. Okay? Exchange stories of empathy within your employee engagement programs. In your social media, support causes that will get, if you have to sponsor a mental health talk, then do that. So it's all about empathy, and you have to move fast. You have to be decisive. This is not the time na, uy, nakakatakot yung nangyayari. Ano gagawin na Frozen, na marketing team, Frozen na. No, you gotta think fast and then be part of the wave. Go with
Exactly.
the wave.
Oo. Dapat ngayon, mga marketing ngayon, nagmamarket sa loob ng kanilang organizations eh. Merong mga brands ngayon na ang customer pala nila, yung mga empleyado nila mismo. I have interviewed Potato Corner, na ngayon yung mga empleyado nila nag-fry na ng Potato Corner sa kanilang communities na dati hindi mo na kailangan mag-franchise ngayon. Basta umorder ka sa kanila, mag-fry ka dyan sa community mo. So it's not really rebranding, but it's more of a, parang kasi parang introspecting. Na parang you look inside kasi baka nandyan. Yung Chef Bonnie's Popcorn, ganun din. Yung kanilang mga empleyado, pinagbenta na nila and then binigyan ng commission scheme. So yung mga hindi dati nagbebenta na rin. But these are the things that you can discover kapag may mga ganitong challenges. Anyway, sige. So we are going to talk more about corporate branding when the big picture on TNC returns. And then, pag tayo po ay bumalik na, syempre, meron tayong palaro kay Carla. Hindi natin alam kung mananalo siya or matatalo siya sa larong ito. But anyway.
Oh my gosh, kinakabahan ako.
Kung mag-alala, konting algebra lang to sa calculus, malulusutan mo to.
Mahina ako sa mata.
Okay. Sige, babaguhin natin. Sa pagbabalik pa ng The Big Picture, stay on our stream. Welcome back to the show. You're still watching The Big Picture on the new channel. Okay, laro na tayo. Carla Cabrera is Chief Brand Strategist at Creation 7 Asia. Sige, ito na. Excited na ako. Excited ka na ba?
Ayan! Huwag mata.
Hindi, physics na ngayon, saka chemistry.
Oh my gosh.
Hindi rin. Okay, sige. Ano lang tayo? General question na lang. General information or general knowledge na lang. Para komportable ka. Oo.
Okay,
Ito
wag
yung
lang
ito yung klase ng segment. Ito yung klase ng segment. Kapag hindi pinanood ng guest ko, yung mga previous shows ko, hindi nila alam yung mga itatanong. So, let's start, Carla. This is a very simple game. We call it a big or small. Meron akong item na sasabihin. And then just tell us kung anong preferred mo. Malaki ba ito or maliit? All right, let's start with coffee.
Big.
Sabi ko na nga ba, advertising, bihira magmaliit na kape sa advertising. Milk tea.
Big.
Car.
Big.
House.
Big.
Family. Malaking pamilya or maliit na pamilya?
Small.
Small. Credit limit.
Siyempre, big. Di ba nag-iisip pa ba yan?
I don't know, may mga pumipili dito sa akin na small. Mukhang maraming cash yung may small. Planet in the solar system.
Venus.
Big or small nga? Tigas naman ng ulo eh.
Ay, ano ba? Ano? Sabi mo, nalito ako doon.
Anong gusto mong planet sa solar system? Malaki or maliit?
Small.
Small, okay. Bed.
Big.
Okay, mukhang malikwat ka. Wristwatch.
Ha?
Wristwatch.
Big.
Okay, handbag.
Big.
Mukhang maraming ilalaman. Okay, answer the question now. If heaven is true, except from your family members and myself, sino gusto mong isama sa langit kung aakyat ka na ngayon?
My closest friends. And
Okay.
all the
Isa
kids
lang.
in the
May name
world.
ka ba dyan? Isa lang. May name ka ba dyan?
Madami yun eh. Okay, all the children of the world. Wait,
Kawawa naman.
oo, lahat ng kids.
Kasi wala na, sinara mo na yung opportunity ng bagong generation. Sasama mo sila.
Oo.
Tapos
The
na.
world has fallen. Go to heaven, please.
If you were a barber, sinong artista ang gusto mong gupitan ngayong panahon ng pandemya?
Oh my gosh, madaming mahabang buhok na yun ah. Si,
Yay.
who's that? Aquaman? I forgot his name.
Basta siya, si Aquaman. Sige, hindi ko rin.
Aquaman. Okay.
Si
And when I
Aquaman.
cut his hair, I think it's gonna be more gorgeous.
Okay, if you're a gym instructor, sinong politician ang gusto mong i-train sa gym?
Oh my gosh. Senator Miguel Subiri.
Okay, sige. If you were an astronaut, sino gusto mong isama sa outer space? Isa lang.
Kailangan close sa akin.
Hindi naman, kahit sino. Basta wag din ako.
Kahit sino. My mom.
Okay, isa lang ang pwedeng bumaba galing sa outer space. Sino ang bababa?
Malamang ako yung pabababain.
Ikaw nga pipili. Ibo-volunteer ka ba ni mama mo?
Ay, hindi. Baka ako stay. No, my mom. Uwi na ako. Okay.
Sige, okay. Last question, Carla. If you have all the money in the world, which company are you going to buy?
Apple, Mac.
Sabi ko na nga ba eh. Sabi ko na nga ba eh. Normally kapag ka brand addict, talagang Apple.
Because, grabe, they created their own space. They set themselves apart. Galing.
Mm. Alam mo speaking of branding, I thought the Philippines as a country, kailangan siyang mai-brand in a sense na magre-reflect yung tunay na identity ng mga Pilipino. You know what's the in my seminars, I always say na we are practically creative at saka very communal, no? So you just take a look at the rice terraces in the Cordilleras at makikita mo nandun yung brand natin. Brand ng leadership, brand ng management, and yung identity natin bilang mga tao, what really mattered to us then. Na during the invasion, medyo nagkaroon ng kalituhan. Kaya medyo naging, westernized and things like that. So na-mix na, nawala na yung identity. What I'm saying is, the Filipino people is also a branded people. Kaya lang, ang naging brand na natin ngayon ay parang yung combination ng galing sa labas lahat na yung internal medyo
Yeah.
nagkaroon ng konting
Influence.
parang sobrang na-influence ka na minsan iisipin mo okay, sino na ba talaga tayo bilang Pilipino? Kasi imaginein mo kapag kakausap mo Indian, after 5 minutes, ang tono ng pagsasalita mo, Indian na. Samantalang sila, hindi sila magbabago ng the way they speak kasi branded talaga. Indian. Anyway, sige. So, let's continue our discussion. How far are we in achieving a country na talagang ang mga negosyante ay sobrang educated na sa brand? Do you see 3-5 years from now mas aware na ang mga negosyante about branding?
That's on a micro and macro perspective. In fact, when you were talking about our identity as Filipinos, burden ko rin yan. In fact, I want to brand a country. That's one of my dreams. Because I think if I'm going to brand the Philippines, it's really about coming home to a family. You know, it's the essence of family. Kasi sa Philippines, very alive ang family life. No? So, how far are we? I guess it would start from our country first, who we are. We shouldn't be enmeshed in the marketplace or with other countries. Kasi iba yung patriotism. That's why I always say, this is on a beauty pageant. Like Catriona Gray is for me the most brilliant and greatest beauty queen. Why? Because she's the only one who brought patriotism when she represented the Philippines. So that's branding, you know. She lived and breathed even through her gowns. Nag-iba yung format ng Miss Universe dahil sa kanya. May ibig sabihin na yung gowns per country. So
Was it the first time? Was it the first time na nangyari na in-incorporate sa gown yung
it's a lot of
pagiging
things.
patriotic?
It's a lot of things. She was really holistic about it. And even with her things, it's all, you know, the materials are from our, locally made materials. Very Filipino siya doon. Come to think how Filipino siya, di ba? So I think for us to advance, we have to start from the country level, like how DOT is actually positioning the Philippines in the world. Yun muna, kasi pagka nasanay ang Pilipino na we know how to brand ourselves, we know how to be authentic with our identity, without shame, without any we're proud who we are. Kahit baluktot ka pa mag-English, yun yung English sa Pinoy di ba? Di ba? Parang you are proud of your color, you are proud of what you can do and where you come from. You're not trying to be American or Korean or whatever. And it has to start from that. Pag nag-start yan and then nakikita ng citizens yung identity malakas, it will trickle down to businesses. So, kaya nga minsan, can I brand this country para magkaroon ng super awareness and mindfulness about
Actually, sa totoo lang. Because even the Filipino citizens don't buy kung ano yung don't buy the idea that the Philippines is a great country. They don't buy that. They don't. Na yung mga leaders natin, because somehow totoo naman din, we are a country of with corrupt politicians and political leaders, which is some point totoo naman. But hindi nila nakikita, kaya pag minsan makita lalabas isang Pilipino parang, oh, kumusta ang Pilipinas? Paano ba dyan? Well, traffic sa Philippines, corrupt sa Philippines. Parang lahat na lang ng negative, yun yung nagiging anong tawag ito, bukang bibig natin when we go out. Anyway, sabi ni Bettina, Chongbian ba yan? Oo. Tell Carla Cabrera, it's Jason Momoa.
Oh, yeah, ako. It's Jason Momoa. Thank you, Bets. I know her. She's our Chief Engagement Officer, by the way. Thank you, Bets. I love Jason Momoa. Yeah.
Hello, Sai Romero, yung mga nanonood. Maraming salamat sa mga nakatutok. Sige, so we don't have so much time now. I would like to ask you yung final question na lagi ko tinatanong sa mga guests ko. You know, sa lahat ng nangyayari ngayon, we are still in a pandemic. People are still confused. Some of them are still unable to adjust. May mga takot pa left and right. And then everything is moving parts. What do you think is the big picture?
Well, sabi ko nga, when all else fades, what do you have? Your identity. Kung sino ka. Okay? So, you have to see yourself in a bigger picture. You know? So, from this crisis, what can you upskill? What can you discover? What opportunities can you search for? In your big picture, instead of wallowing every day with worry, you gotta see what's ahead. You don't think about the limitations. You always think about the possibilities. How can I be a better person? Ano yung pwede kong aralin na hindi ko ginagawa before? Kasi soon enough, kahit nga mag-normalize tayo, there will be permanent changes na because of this pandemic. So saan mo na nakikita yung sarili mo? Not only during, but to serve. Actually, sabi to be alive now, not to have COVID is already a goal. No, don't settle for that. Okay, it's good to be healthy, but at the end of the day, you have to dig deeper sa sarili mo. We do actually an inventory, skills inventory for people to know the natural, alamin mo ano yung totoo sa'yo, yung natural skills mo. Okay? How will you use that now combined with your work skills or your technical skills? And then you come up of a statement of yourself that can be good for the next 3 to 5 years. But you have to dig deeper. You know, this is the time to know and to push what you can do more. Hindi pwede mag-settle ngayon. You have to thrive. You have to grow. Actually, in crisis is where you can actually grow. And you always have to think about that. Don't just survive every day. So, yun yung big picture mo sa sarili mo, even as a company. Pag nag-rethink kayo, nag-re-strategize, you gotta think ahead. You're not just gonna think about just surviving this year. You have to know after this, what will be the next step once it's normal. That will be in 6 months and 3 months. And that would be in the next few years because some will be permanent changes in your organization or in yourself. And it can be better. It can be better. You gotta be willing to peel it layer by layer by layer. And be honest. Be really honest with your organization, with yourselves. Ano ba talaga ang next step sa akin? Diba? This is a chance. This is a possibility, not a limitation. So that's, I think, the big picture of what's happening now. Because it happened to me.
Yeah. Happened to all of us all, I guess. So, marami tayong discoveries ngayon. So, yeah. Napepwedeng mas creative ka kapag ka nasa bahay ka. Well, pwede rin hindi. But it really depends na kung sa organization mo. Sabi mo nga, kung ipipil mo yan, talaga, you focus on what changes yung nangyari within your organization. Capitalize kung ano yung naging plus, and then siguro yung minus, edi minus yun.
Time to experiment now.
Time to experiment now. I always say that this is the best time to experiment because when you fail, hindi ka katawa-tawa because yung iba, busy rin sila pag-fix ng failed experiments nila.
Lahat tayo yan. Ngayon is the R&D period, research and development. So,
I mean, sa totoo lang. You know, when I have been a professional speaker for 16 years, alam mo yung branding ko, logo ko, tuwing December, yun lang yung time ko to parang revisit yung last 11 months na nangyari. Pero napaka-ikli lang nun, ilang araw lang yun. And look at us na, di ba? 7 months, you can still reflect
I actually have an exercise in my talks. Una kong tanong, give me just one phrase, the best description of yourself. The best. You know? Doon ka mag-umpisa if you're lost. To dig deeper, that's a start.
It's a good start. A good start. Difficult start, but it's a good start.
It seems easy, but actually, ano ba yung best description ko? I have to nail the sweet spot. Diba?
It's difficult. Napakadami mong, either wala kang naisip, which is unlikely, or sobrang dami na naisip mo na hindi
Or
mo alam.
narcissistic ka. Feeling mo 10 yung best mo. Pero
Feeling-
dilipunal ka lang. Isa lang pala. But dapat isa lang. Isa lang talaga.
Oh, dapat isa lang. Sige. So kung may isa lang, what is Carla Cabrera? Oh, patay ka ngayon, ha? Yan. Ikaw na.
Alam ko na yan.
Sasagot din ako. Tama ka na lang.
Sabi mo, mayabang ako eh. Joke. Walang gano'n, ha? Honest. Beautiful, smart, and cool. Yun na yun. One phrase.
Okay. Sa akin siguro is inspiring lang. Yun lang. That's what I do. I inspire people, so I should be inspiring. Which, by the way, is medyo na-derail kasi first few weeks na ng quarantine, hindi ako naging inspiring kasi nandun ako sa frustrating stage na hindi ako yung ganito. Kasi April 25, I started the show, itong live streaming. Before it morphed into a channel na marami ng shows, talaga nag-start lang siya dun sa isang show. Before we put up the company on May 15, and naging ganito na. So, I can only say that because in my case, sure ako doon na if there's nothing else, inspiring yung pagdi-describe sa akin. But anyway,
sorry, but the corporate thing, I said something kanina personal. The corporate is also one thing, which is my advocacy for the past 10 years, empowering. So, either the company or the
I like that empowering thing. Yun ang kailangan ng mga tao ngayon na sa totoo lang, na-drain yung power nila because, mentally, parang na-drain din sila. Alam mo yun, parang financially, na-drain din sila. Parang na-drain sila because na parang nalimitahan yung mobility nila. Because I think most of the time, we equate mobility with productivity, which is not true most of the time.
Yes.
Na hindi pala. Sabi mo nga, mas naging ano ka ngayon. Mas naging superwoman ka ngayon, no? Sa loob.
Sabi ko nga, mag-decide ka sa pandemic, ano ka ba, trailblazer? Diba? Ano ka ba, follower ka lang? So,
Warrior. Warrior. Taga-worry. Taga-worry ka lang. Ay, ano na bang...
Warrior, time oras, no?
So,
Life is too short.
yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Carla, for the opportunity of having interviewed you in this show. Maraming salamat sa pagpunta.
Thank you too. I had fun, ha? Ang galing-galing mo.
Thank you. Mag-uusap tayo tungkol dun sa show, ha? Tingnan natin, backstage or some other time. Basta mag-uusap tayo. Personal advocacy ko din kasi na matulungan talaga yung mga SMEs natin. So, in any form or shape, let's help them out. So, that's why may TNC.
I agree. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Carla Cabrera is a Chief Brand Strategist at Creation 7 Asia. Maraming salamat sa pagpunta sa The Big Picture. All right, The Big Picture would like to thank the following sponsors. Puzzle Box BPO Inc. Maraming salamat po. Luluran, Telepreneur, SMDC, Reway, Aliaga Rice Supply. Maraming salamat, Mr. Rice. Maraming salamat sa PAPS, PALP. At of course, sa Kiri Voices, maraming salamat din sa Step Back Leadership. At ngayon po, nangyayari ang 4th National Convention ng Philippine Association of Professional Speakers. Punta po kayo sa paps.ph para mag-register sa aming convention. Maraming salamat. I'm going to see you again tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Stay safe and stay healthy. Bye-bye. Up next, by the way, is YOLO, 8:30 p.m.